Well, good morning, children. As you can see, I'm in a different location. I am currently down in Abilene, Texas, visiting my oldest boy down here who is in the Air Force, stationed at the Dyess Air Force Base, just a little north of where I'm at now. Um, the visit's been great. Celebrated my birthday yesterday. Yours truly turns, well, did turned. I turned 48 yesterday. Getting up there, guys. Getting up there. I've been trying to mess with the lighting here in this. I've got a one bedroom suite here and been messing with the lighting. As you can see, I got lighting on one side of my face and the other side is dark, but we're gonna have to make do with what we got. So otherwise, it's rearranged the whole damn living room here to accommodate, and I'm not gonna do that. So what you see is what you get here today, or any other time for that matter. But today I want to talk about dating green flags when it comes to meeting girls. What should you be looking for, and why should you be looking for these particular things? I come up with a list of 10 items. I did seek out the interwebs for help with a few of these things. But before I start, how many of you actually travel with pets? This morning when I was downstairs having breakfast, I saw a guy and his son. They had this little tiny dog. I That reminds me of that dog they used to like little Chihuahua Taco Bell used to use in their commercials. So I always call those kind of dogs like a Taco Bell dog. And then I just came back from the gym and I met a guy coming up the stairs. Um, he was carrying collapsible pet cages, probably I'd say two, maybe, or maybe it was a. Some people have that little portable fence that they can set up and it makes a nice little round circle, like a 6x6 circle. Then they can just put their pets in that. How many of you really, I mean, how many of you really travel like that? By the time you load up the wife, the kids, the pets, now travel becomes a literally becomes a pain in the ass. And like this trip, when I pack a carry-on size uh, suitcase. It's probably like this and this wide and probably yay deep, and it collapses. So it probably more like it could be this thick, but it's easy for me to carry. It's not a pain in the ass. I'm down here for 4 nights. I'm on my last, tonight is my last night. And then I'll head back towards my headquarters tomorrow morning about 6 a.m. And then I packed my gun range bag with a couple handguns that me and my boy will go shoot here in an indoor range here this afternoon. But I just find it how people and ways they travel, now with so many people owning pets, now the pets are included in travel. And so by the time you get to your destination, like if you're going across the country and you have to stop 2 or 3 times overnight, you're unloading all that shit, unloading all your pets, unloading. And it just looks like it'd be a royal pain in the ass. Like me, I got my carry-on bag. I'd take that. And then if I like this trip, if I didn't bring guns, I would just have that one carry-on bag. And so I like to travel light. It's easy. And I also brought a cooler. I do travel like, if I'm driving, like Abilene is a good 9 to 11 hours from me. So I take a cooler and I put drinks and healthy snacks in it and meals for down here because I don't eat out every meal. I'll hit breakfast, lunch here. Lunch is usually leftovers I bring from home, and then dinners I go out to dinner. So I've probably I've eaten 4, maybe 5 times this whole trip, eating out that is. But I just find it interesting how other people choose to travel and what, like I said, and those people probably don't, it doesn't bother them. But when I think about it, I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And then another example today, I saw a guy and his wife, an older couple, and they use them big luggage carriers that the hotels have. You put your luggage on it, and then you can hang your hanging bags up on a hanging rack right above, and then you just push it around. It's got wheels on it. You can push and pull it wherever you got to go. I'm just like, Man, thinking, I'm glad that's not me. But anyways, let's get to it. Let's talk about green flags when it comes to meeting women and why are these important? And for me, when I vet a woman, I look for different things, and things that I look for are going to be different from the next guy, and so on and so on and so on. And so my green flags might be different than the next guy's, and so on and so on. And women, you can even use these same things. You can actually, for girls, you can actually flip these around and use these in vetting men too. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think most of my green flags, you could go both ways. You could work towards guys vetting women, and then for women vetting guys. So here we go, and they're in no particular order. I've got 10 of them here. There's no set order to them, but it's just something you should think about and really hone in on when you meet somebody. So number one, I have, and this is probably a big one, um, parental relationships, and especially with the father. And when you break that down and you look at it, you look today, we have about a 60% divorce rate in the United States. So that means 6 out of every 10 marriages are failing. And when you take those 6 marriages, you take 10 of those marriages, and 9 of those are initiated by women. And the more educated she gets, the higher that. I mean, that could be a 10 out of 10, possibly. So what happens in a divorce situation? Guys lose almost everything in divorce. They lose half their assets. They have to make monthly spousal support payments, whether that's alimony and or child support. And this is where guys get the biggest hurt, is they also lose their children. So again, I'm doing this from the male perspective again. When you meet a woman, it's important to ask her, hey, what kind of relationship do you have with your mother and father, in particular, your dad? In most cases, you're going to learn that she has little to no relationship with her dad. And of course, you're going to get the excuses. Oh, he skipped out on my mommy. He did this or he did that. More than likely, he didn't do those things, but there is a small chance that he probably did. But more likely than not, he was forced out of his home in divorce, alienated from his children, and that's going to be the most common. So pay attention to that. Um, her number two I got this here is her sexual past. Okay. How many? Now, you're probably never going to get an answer to this question, but you'll be able to tell by how she behaves. Her sexual past. The fewer partners, the more likely she'll pair bond with you. If she's had more sexual partners in the past, it will be hard for her to pair bond with anybody, even you. So think about that. When she talks about, oh, I've been married 3 or 4 times, that's going to be a red flag. Um, some guys, she should have no more than 5 sexual partners in her past, no more than 10. You decide what's too much. I would say 10 is definitely too many sexual partners, but that's up to you to decide. And the more you interact with her, the more those kind of behaviors will show up. So pay attention to that. And number three, I have personal health. How does she take care of herself? Does she have a proper diet? Does she exercise? Does she take care of her? I have also here dental health, dental, and I can't even read my own writing. Dental health, and I guess general health and general, I guess. Does she do wellness visits every year? Does she take an interest and investment in her personal health? Um, does she fit? Is she thin? Is she fit? Um, is she everything but overweight and obese? I don't mind my girls being slightly thicker than a Snicker, but I don't want them fat and obese. A lot of health issues come from being obese. You got heart disease, you got diabetes, you got cholesterol, blood pressure problems. You have everything that goes with not being at your ideal or close to your ideal BMI, which is your body mass index. Number four, her circle of friends. Are they influential people? Are they supportive of her goals, her dreams? Do they Are they not, are they a bad influence? Like, are they going out on girls' nights out, getting shit faced? Are they going out partying? Are they going out chasing the Chads and Tyrones all the time? Are they doing dumb stuff? Essentially, are they doing dumb stuff? Okay. That's what we're looking at. We're looking for friends that are supportive, that are there for her when she falls. They pick her up, they bring her, help dust herself off and get back on her feet. Those kind of people you want her to be associated with, not going to the bar scene every weekend or every other day during the week, or just out doing dumb stuff. Okay. Number five, she has no dependence on drugs and alcohol. A lot of people, and this goes for guys too, a lot of men and women both, um, are self-medicating. They're self-medicating on alcohol, illegal drugs, prescription drugs, you name it, anything that you could shoot, snort, drink, um, that's not supposed to be in your body on a regular is a red flag. So make sure when you vet her, she's, ask her, how often do you drink? Do you smoke? Do you prescription medication could include like mental health drugs? Is she dependent on mental health drugs to stay sane? Okay. Pay attention to stuff like that. No independence on drugs and alcohol. For me, I have zero tolerance. I don't mind if she's a social drinker because I'm a social drinker. But if you're drinking more, my personal rule of thumb is, again, it's going to be different. I know a lot of you guys like your beer, like your whiskeys, but for me, social drinking for me is one to two beers every other night. Typically, it's not every night, but every other night. So for me, if a woman's drinking more than that, we're probably not going to get along very good. Okay, moving on. Number six, and I found this one on the interwebs. It's strong and mature. What do we mean by that? How does she handle adversity? How does she handle stress? How does she break under pressure? Like if you travel with her, you go fly across country for the first time, and let's say the airline loses your luggage. Does she get pissed? Does she scream at the first desk agent at the airport? Scream, where the fuck my luggage? I had this and this in it. Things happen. I mean, I've been lucky. I haven't lost any luggage during flight or at an airport. Don't have any wood close by knock on, but how would she do in situations like that where where something is lost in transit? Or how does she treat a waiter or waitress at a restaurant? If she gets her food slightly cold, does she lose her shit and yell at the waitress? Look, I know these are all inconveniences. Nobody likes it when you get your food cold at a restaurant, or nobody likes it when your luggage is lost at the airport. But how do you handle things that kind of take you out of your comfort zone? Number seven, and this is kind of a big one, financial well-being. Um, I have yet to meet a woman that was financially well off, like financially responsible. I've known women to make good money, great money. I've known a few women to make more money than I do. And yet at the end of the day, they have nothing to show for what they make. Um, True example, I knew a woman, she got her PhD. She ran her own uh, counseling clinic in town. Unfortunately, she passed sudden, and her children had to set up a GoFundMe account to help pay for her final expenses. And so, for a woman that had that kind of profession, you would think that she would have money set aside for things like that. I mean, nobody really wants to plan for the end. I mean, it's kind of a scary thought, but at the same time, you should have a like emergency fund that would cover stuff like that. So when if you do pass untimely, your kids aren't setting up a GoFundMe account saying, "Hey, we need help paying for our parents, our mother's final expenses because she didn't have the money." So, women are more likely to have more credit card debt. They're more likely to have more debt in general, whether it be mortgage, auto loans, credit card, department store accounts, you name it, whatever you could borrow money on, women will more likely do that over guys. Now, don't get me wrong, there are guys out there that are financial wrecks as well. And trust me, I've been trying to work on those guys for a long time. But when women are entering the workforce at a record number, they should know how to manage money, and especially in the day and age of this strong and independent woman. Manage your fucking money. Number 8, good communicator. This is just basic ground level shit. Can she hold a conversation? Does she have? And for me, I look a lot at life experience. You know, I'm 48 years old. If I'm talking to a woman that's around my age, she should have some kind of life experience. I mean, she's been traveled, she's well traveled, she's um, educated. I mean, you don't have to have a college degree to be educated, but you have to live your life. You know, live your life. So you got where you could talk about anything and everything. I mean, I'm no expert at any one subject matter, but I can hold a conversation with just about anything you want to talk about. And I may not know it, but I'll at least learn as we go. Number 9, here's a big one. This is I know a lot of women are gonna scream at me for this, but can she cook and clean? It's not a requirement, but guys, I'm gonna tell you, cooking and cleaning is a basic life skill. It's not like it's a designated, oh, you're because you're a woman, you got to do this. No, as a man, I cook and clean. I can cook and clean. I mean, if how else do I eat? I have to cook my meals. I have to prepare my meals. On the cleaning side, I choose to live clean. So on vacuum carpets, I just recently shampooed the carpets at my place here before I came down here. Um, I clean toilets. I clean bathtubs. I do it all. I mean, I clean and wash my vehicles, my boat, my motorcycle. I'm a clean fucking freak. And so I expect the woman I date to be the same. You know, I mean, cooking and cleaning. I mean, I don't care if you wash your vehicle. I don't care, but your house better be clean. Your carpets better be vacuumed. Your floors better be swept. Your toilets better be clean. Um, so yeah, I mean, these are basic life skills. And how you keep your home, how you keep your castle is how you carry yourself. You know, like I always told my kids, make your bed. You know, first thing right when you jump out of bed, you make your bed. And that's what I do. I even do it here at the hotel. I get up, I make the bed here, and I go brush my teeth, use the bathroom, and I carry on with my day, you know. So and number 10, she's independent. You know, in modern day, in this day and age, women are what you would describe strong and independent. They don't need a man. That's fine. I like I like that way of thinking that comes from women nowadays. Because from being married 19 and a half years, you know, I financially supported a wife, 2 kids. I paid the mortgage. I paid all the bills. I'm done doing that. I'm done. I will not support a woman and her kids ever again. That's not in my wheelhouse anymore. So when a woman, like on her dating profile, she says, "I'm strong and independent." Great, you're my kind of girl. Now show me how strong and independent are you? Can you pay your own bills? Can you pay your mortgage, your rent? Can you buy your own groceries? Can you support your kids even if the father is out of the picture and you're not getting any kind of child support? Can you do all those things without the assistance of a man? That's the kind of girl I look for. So independence is a big thing with me anymore. Um, I don't I don't want to help her anyway financially. I don't, that's not my job. If you're a woman in your 30s and 40s or even older and you're single, let's say you've never been married, or even if you've been divorced or whatever, at our age, at my age, you should be able to pay your own way. Okay. It's okay to date and enter into a domestic partnership where everything is split down the middle, 50-50. You pay your half, I pay my half, and we live happily that way. There's no, I'm not paying the bills, so you can, you know, do whatever you want to do. No, if you're working, and as women should be working, you pay 50%, I pay 50%, and we bring it together, and that's how it works. And so, guys, those are the green flags I want to talk about today. And and so with that being said, um, I think that's all I got today. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Toodles.